What's going on, guys? So as of late, this has actually been pretty heavily requested, and it is typically something I revamp every year anyways. So in this video, we're talking about 10. That's right, 10 once again. Very specific fragrances. We're talking about fresh beastly fragrances. I mean, everybody likes fresh, everybody likes beast mode. And the thing is, we've got variety here. We've got a little bit of some cheap Middle Eastern, we've got some designer, and we've got some niche. So there's variety across all price points, with a variety of scent profiles as well. They're not all just redundant to one another. It's a great list in my opinion. I like all 10 of these, and maybe you'll see something here that you might want to get your nose on, and I'll have links for everything down below, so stay tuned. We might as well hit the ground running and start with one of the best. It's from a Middle Eastern house. It's most notable related to like being a spicy Invictus type of fragrance. It is from Rasasi. This is Hawas. This stuff's a monster on my skin. The first time I ever wore it, I sprayed 5 sprays and then decided moving forward I need to downgrade it to 4 sprays because it is, man, it's a monster. If you like sweet aquatics, if you like anything about the Invictus style DNA, that fresh, kind of fruity-like sweetness with this watery aquatic tone, and here you get some spices from some cardamom and I believe some cinnamon as well. Even on skin it has a little bit of kind of an incensey smoky type of nuance, woodsy, musky, all that good stuff as kind of a generic base in some ways, but for the most part that top note hangs out because it is a very synthetic fragrance. Let's be honest here, it's not some high quality fragrance, but you can find it in that $40 to $55 range from discounters online. Like I said, I'll have a link or two below if you want to check this one out. Not easy to just get a sample of, so you're probably going to have to blind buy it, but the hype is real on this one, people. You know, are you going to receive a high-level luxury quality fragrance? No. Are you going to get something that's powerful, fresh, and super mass appealing that a lot of people are going to like and you'll possibly get a decent amount of compliments on? That you certainly will. So definitely check this one out. It was the right fragrance to start this topic off. It's Rasasi Hawas. This next one is pretty affordable niche. And for any of you lovers of the original Tommy cologne from Tommy Hilfiger, you'll appreciate this because the opening is pretty much niche Tommy. It does start to separate itself a bit as it dries, but we're talking about Montale Fougeres Marine. Fougeres Marine it has this freshwater accord that kind of takes this very, very good earthy, spicy oak moss note that this fragrance is based around and freshens it up greatly. It gives this bright, watery, clean and musky, fresh green, spicy appeal to it. It's not the most complex of fragrances, but man, it smells of pretty good quality and it performs great. I've clocked this one all the way into the 11 and 12 hour mark before taking a shower. And I don't do more than 4 sprays with this one either. I don't need to. It's very strong, especially in the first 2 to 3 hours. The sillage on this one is definitely above average. This is underrated for how powerful and how damn good it smells. If you're looking for something that has a lot of green and spicy elements to it with an abundance of freshness from this freshwater and aromatic accord, I believe there's a little bit of lavender aromatics here. It's a gorgeous scent. This is one of the best affordable niche fragrances I've ever put my nose on. I did a full review on this one a while back. Big fan of this one, and if you're a fan of Tommy from Tommy Hilfiger, you're going to want to check this one out. Again, that's Montale Fougeres Marine. Definitely going back to the affordable designer route here. This is a great blue aquatic fragrance. Solid, minimum 8-hour fragrance. It's easily 8 to 10 hours. Really, it's a bit more than that for most people. I pretty much get in that 10-hour range in longevity, and it's loud. You spray this one even moderately, 5 to 7 sprays, you're going to fill a room with this one. It's a monster. It's Chrome Extreme. It's appropriately named. It's the extreme version of Chrome. It's my favorite version of Chrome. No, I haven't tried the Parfum yet at the recording of this video. I've heard good things. I will get my nose on it eventually, but until further notice, this is my favorite version of Chrome, and it's a monster. It smells like Chrome mixed with a bit of Acqua di Gio Profondo. And if you like either of those fragrances, you're going to like this one. On the synthetic side, has that fresh shower gel ambroxan feel, a lot of saltwater aquatic, like this sea notes type of feel. There's citruses, there's aromatics, it's a little soapy, and a soft woody musky backdrop just like I said, kind of that generic woody backdrop in the deep dry down. But this is a compliment getter. This is an attention grabber, and it's mega, mega fresh. And as the title would indicate, it's a beast. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. And you can get this one for 50 bucks or less, depending on bottle size, and most places from discounters online, easily 40 to 50 bucks. And it's absolutely worth having in your collection, in my opinion. Like I said, it's my favorite version of Chrome. I'm a big fan of it personally. And maybe you should get your nose on this, because it might end up being your favorite version of Chrome. It's Chrome Extreme. This next one's from one of my personal favorite independent niche houses. It's actually a hybrid blend of two of their fresh fragrances, one of the two being their most popular and highest selling fragrance. We're talking about City Rhythm. This is 2654. So 2654, as you see, it says Miami there, and it says San Diego there. It's a combination of Miami Tropical Seduction and San Diego Pacific Sunset blended. Better than it would be to have both and layer them, because this was well balanced by the perfumer, and it's a 50% oil concentration. It's a beast. It's got this bright, crisp fruitiness, almost this apple-like smell. There's other citruses here, but there's also a saltiness, there's a booziness, there's earthy florals, there's like this kind of driftwood, sea breeze meets amber type of accord as it dries down. This is pretty complex for the most part. It smells a little busy at first because there's a lot of notes from both fragrances here. So the top note is a little busy at first, but if you give it just a few, I mean, it still smells great in the top. I smell floating around. But if you give it just a few minutes to start settling in, it really starts to take on a life of its own versus either of the fragrances it's based around. It really creates its own thing, while you'll still be reminded of Miami and of San Diego. If you've smelled either one of them, it'll be very familiar to you, while kind of creating its own vibe and own scent profile at the same time. And then it's 12 plus hours. It's 50% oil concentration. 12 plus hours. There's a bunch of bright fragrance oils used here, so it's very volatile. Even though it's a high and heavy oil concentration, it's still super bright, and your sillage is going to be ridiculously massive with this one. And in the first hour to 2 hours, the projection is pretty ridiculous as well. For being fresh, it's a heavier wear because of the oil concentration, but still maintains a brightness. It's quite interesting the way this was pulled off, but it smells damn good, it's fresh, and it is absolutely a beast. And that's City Rhythm 2654. I don't even know if you can do this video without including this fragrance, to be totally honest here. It's one of the most popular, beastly fresh fragrances money can buy, especially in the designer realm. We're talking Yves Saint Laurent. Why? Eau de Parfum. I mean, this is the strongest version of Y in my experience. I love the Le Parfum. I have a decant of the new Eau de Parfum Intense. This is much more intense and much stronger. Much, much stronger than Eau de Parfum Intense. The Eau de Parfum is the most powerful in the line. This stuff is absurdly loud. 10 to 12 hour fragrance easily. Easily. I mean, it's a skin chemistry issue if you're not getting at least 8 out of this. I mean, this stuff's a monster. Sweet, bright, crispy apple. The aldehydes are dialed back, so it's not quite as fizzy and bright as the Eau de Toilette. It's still there, still has some of it in the top, but it's a heavier oil concentration. It's a bit more cloying if you're not careful, especially in warmer weather, because of the sweetness here. It's a very sweet, thick, fruity green apple note. Bright, fresh, spicy aromatics in the heart, such as sage, and a nice, salty, slightly aquatic ambergris feel with some woody components as well. A lot of fresh, spicy tones to this, but leans much more fresh than spicy. A little fruity and sweet, but not much. Like I said, if you're in the high heat, it's going to be sweeter than it actually is in the other seasons. This is a great 3-season fragrance, in my opinion, when it comes to spring, fall, winter. But, I mean, it's really hard to beat. High compliment factor on this one. Prices are still kind of, You can find a 60 ml like this in the, $80 price range, which is kind of on par with what I paid for this one, this 60 ml, when I got it, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. So the price hasn't jumped up greatly. It's the newer releases that are a bit more expensive, such as the Le Parfum and the Eau de Parfum Intense. But, honestly, if you're looking for the strongest one in the line, it's this one. It always has been. And more than likely, if you're a betting man, I think it's a safe bet that it always will be. Again, that's Yves Saint Laurent's Y Eau de Parfum. Now, this one surprised me. I've only been through one wearing with this. I did a live stream, first impressions on all 4 fragrances. It's a new niche house from my good friend Mo that also owns Kajal Perfumes. This is from Eau de Moe, the new line, called Tariq. So this was my favorite fragrance of the four. It is a niche blue. It's all about lavender, fresh cut lavender. Think, for those of you that have smelled Kajal Ferris, beautiful fresh cut lavender without being soapy. Probably that exact lavender oil, to be honest with you, with some bright, very, very fresh and spicy cardamom. There's no warmth here. It's a very fresh, spicy cardamom note with some musks, some woods. There's a little bit of sweetness here, but I was shocked. I literally wore this yesterday at the recording of this video. I couldn't believe how strong this was. It is an Eau de Parfum. I'm sure it's 18 or 20%. It just kept going and going and going, and I only wore 4 sprays, and I just could smell it all day long. I'm very impressed by this one. And to be honest with you, this is a $120 niche blue fragrance, 80 ml. Crazy good presentation. Just go check out that live stream to see the full presentation. I mean, look at the glass work. Look how smooth the glass work is. But point being, at retail, just to give an example here, the new Eau de Parfum Intense version of this is higher than this. Even at discounters, because at Joma Shop I noticed you can get the new EDP Intense for like $115 or something like that. You can get a niche blue fragrance. The quality is much, much greater than the Y line from Yves Saint Laurent. Don't get me wrong, great fragrance is one of my favorite lines, but just to give you guys an idea of how well priced I think this is for the quality, because it's a niche blue. I'm loving this one. I'm digging this one. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 first impressions rating. I'm probably going to end up doing a full review on this one because I'm going to keep going back to it, and we're spraying it again. This is good stuff. Does it smell like, the most unique blue fragrance of all time? No. It is crazy good, mass appealing, high compliment factor style DNA. Outside of my wife, I haven't gotten a compliment yet. Obviously, I wore it one time so far, but I really wanted to feature this one in this video because it surprised me just how damn strong it was. I took a shower at the 11-hour mark, and it was still going very strong. I was still getting pretty surprisingly strong whiffs when I would make certain movements and stuff, just from 2 sprays on this side and 2 sprays on this side. That was what I had all day long. This one's impressive. Get a sample. I'll have a link to Eau de Moe's website down below, and get a sample. You can get 2 ml samples, and I would encourage you, if you like blue fragrances, you want a quality niche blue that's a beast, you're going to want to check out Odumo Tariq. Tariq. Not sure how to pronounce it, but I'm going with Tariq. This next one's a little on the, I guess, slightly unique side for the rest of the fragrances in this video because it's so salty, very herbal from bay leaf, a lot of warm ambery accord to it, while still maintaining a lot of the original's DNA. We're talking about from the Paco Rabanne Invictus line, but specifically we're talking about Invictus Legend. So for those of you that are going to ask, this is a tester bottle. That is why it says the name on the front of the fragrance. That's only on the testers. This stuff is absurd. This is 12 hours and beyond in my experience. 4 sprays are plenty. If you spray your bare chest under your shirt, which I used to do with these stronger fragrances like this, it's going to wear you out all day. It's never going to go away because this is as fresh beast as it gets. There's a warm herbal radiance to this. Like I said, a lot of this amber accord and bay leaf, but it still has that sweet aquatic DNA with a hefty dose of this sea saltiness. Man, it's good, though. This is actually my godson's favorite fragrance. For his high school graduation, this was what he wanted as a graduation present from me. I bought him a bottle of this and gave him some cash. This is what he wanted. And actually, last time I saw him, which was in December, at the recording of this is March 31st, his bottle was getting down here. I'm probably going to have to get him another bottle sooner than later. You know who you are. Shout out if you see this, but this is good stuff. It does not get a lot of love. There was a time when it would get some shine on social media, but it doesn't really get much love anymore. I've heard rumblings of discontinuation from just people in the community. I mean, I don't speak to the brand or anything, so I don't know for certain. Just be mindful of that. If you are kind of having trouble finding it, I'll try to have a link. I'll find it somewhere for a good price down below and have a link or two for anybody that's interested in it. But this is kind of the most unique. Not really the most unique. When it comes to mass appealing in the line, but still being somewhat unique versus the original, I think this is that one. This is the fragrance, because Platinum is a bit more unique. Veers away from the DNA pretty well. Victory veers away from the Victory and Victory Elix elixir veer away quite a bit. I think this was the last flanker to really kind of stay true to the DNA while still kind of walk its own path parallel to the original, if that makes sense. It's a monster, it's fresh, and I'll see if I can find it for a good affordable price for you guys, because it's a damn good fragrance. It's Paco Rabanne Invictus Legend. So hands down, the most expensive fragrance in this video, but I couldn't do this video without including it because it is a beast on my skin. It certainly is a 12-hour fragrance that is loud. I don't do more than 4 sprays on this one either because the sillage is immense because it's a high oil parfum concentration, but it's probably the best fresh fragrance opening I've ever smelled. It is gorgeous. It is Roja Parfum's Elysium Parfum pour Homme. So most of the time you'll see the blue bottle, the Parfum Cologne. I feature that one a lot more than this one because price per ml, it is way more affordable for double the fragrance, but this is superior. This is the better fragrance. It's still metallic, fresh, fruity. It's more on the herb. It's got more herbs to it, the woods, the musks. Everything's deeper and richer. The base notes come out more because the oil concentration's dialed up. This stuff's pricey. I'll find it from a discounter and put a link below, but it's still pricey. But just know that this is one of, if not the most magical of niche fresh fragrances money can buy. I mean, it does smell of elegance for being a freshie. This stuff's good. This stuff's really good. If nothing else, you know, there's decant sites all over the internet. Many places you can get a variety of sizes of decants. To try this one out if you don't want to commit to a bottle, which I would encourage you. Sample first. It's expensive. It's even for as magnificent and fresh as it smells. It's not a safe blind buy because of the price. You want to make sure it's worth your money. It's amazing, but at least sample it. So, like I said, the fruitiness really shines here because it's a heavier oil concentration. So, it's not as fresh as the Parfum Cologne, the blue bottle, but it still maintains the vast majority of the brightness. It just adds a little bit more oomph to it in many ways. It is superior across the board. It smells better, it performs better, and it smells more expensive because guess what? It is more expensive. So definitely get your nose on this one with a sample. Do not blind buy, but try it. This is one of the best fresh fragrances ever created. Roja Parfum's Elysium Parfum pour Homme. Next, we go from the most expensive fragrance in the video to the cheapest fragrance in the video. This one's coming from Armaf. My wife's a big fan of this one. This is like her favorite version of the scent profile, and it's the cheap Armaf clone of the group. Go figure. We're talking about Club de Nuit Sillage. Wife's a big fan of this one. I sprayed it on my hand literally like day before yesterday, or it might have been yesterday. No, it was day before yesterday. And she's like, "Ooh, you smell good. Are you wearing my favorite?" Because she can always pick this scent profile out, and I let her smell my hand. She said, "Oh yeah, that's my favorite." She never knows the name of them, but she knows that scent. She knows this scent profile. So it's a clone of Creed Silver Mountain Water. For those of you that don't know, it does smell somewhat similar to Zaharoff Mephisto, which I do have a bottle of, and I have a bunch of other smells like Silver Mountain Water fragrances. Your Metal Rain from Banana Republic. What's that cheap ass one? Al Rehab Silver. It's great. It's like an $8 fragrance, but this one's a beast. Up close, it's a bit, you know, very, I guess very would be a good way instead of a bit. Very chemically synthetic, up close on skin. But out in the air, man, the sillage is great on this one. This one's every bit of a 10-hour fragrance on my skin. And if you're the type to go moderate and above, you're filling a room, you're cloning, you might even choke yourself out, and you're probably going to go nose blind because this stuff is so damn strong. It really is. This is a monster. The cloud will pull in some compliments. Like I said, if you smell it directly like this, it's going to smell really cheap. Really cheap and synthetic. It is what it is, but you just wear it and get random whiffs of it because you're going to get plenty of it. The sillage is strong. And just see how the reactions come in, because I know that's important to a lot of people. This will reach out and grab people, and you can get it for around $34-$35 pretty much all over the internet. It's the real deal. It is. It's probably the version of Club de Nuit that doesn't smell like a Ventus that I wear the most. I wear this more than Milestone, Urban Man Elixir, Untold, Iconic. Look, I like all of those. Honestly, I think I reach for it more. If nothing else, I'll do a random spray on my hand way more than I do full wearings because I just enjoy sniffing on it. This is probably the Club de Nuit I wear the most. more than limited edition Parfum even, my favorite one that smells like a Ventus. So it's worth trying, guys. I'm not the only person on the internet telling you it smells good. I'm just giving you my experience, and I'm sure there's places you can get decants, but I mean, for 35 bucks, you got to decide if it's worth the dice roll, but it's definitely a fresh beast that my wife absolutely adores. It's Armaf Club de Nuit Sillage. Last but most certainly not least, it's juicy pineapple, fresh out of an ice chest on a hot summer's day by the beach. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Summer Vibes 4.0 from Authenticity Perfumes. This is pineapple juice. Bright, juicy, sweet. There's watery aquatic notes that enhance the juicy fruity smell. There's a clean musk as it dries, and that's pretty much the basis of it. This mint leaf feel that just helps brighten that pineapple. It really intensifies the watery notes, or aquatic notes, I think is what it's listed as. It's watery notes, and the mint really intensify the smell of this pineapple. That's really their job. It's what they do, the way this is blended. It's awesome. God, it's so good. Another one my wife's a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of this one. Totally unisex. Anybody can wear this, any age, any time, not just in the summer as it's named, but it is one of those tropical beach vacation time type of scents. 50% oil concentration, 10 to 12 hours on my skin's been my experience. Really, really strong sillage. I mean, it calms down a little bit after about 2 hours, but even then the sillage is on the heavy side. This one's really, really strong, guys. I don't do more than 3 sprays on this one because it's so damn strong. I just don't need it. You heavy sprayers, you're going to smell like you're consistently bathing in pineapple juice if you spray it heavy. But to each their own, it's worth grabbing. It's like $40-ish before the 10% off code down below for the 60 ml. And I believe you can still get samples. I would at least try it. At least sample it. If you love pineapple, and no, it does not smell like a Ventus in any way, shape, or form. Because you can't say pineapple in perfumery without saying if it does or does not smell like a Ventus. We're literally at that stage at this point. No, not even a little bit. It is literally as simple as a bunch of sliced pineapple that's been frosted in a ice chest, and you're outside on the beach, and it's to cool you off under the umbrella. That's what this smells like. That's where it puts me mentally. That's the visual I get, and it's probably going to be the same thing for you. It is phenomenal. It's Authenticity Perfumes Summer Vibes 4.0. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What of these 10 have you tried? I'm very curious on your thoughts and opinions and feelings, good, bad, or indifferent about these fragrances down below. What of these fragrances featured kind of puts you in the, need to get my nose on that, put you in that kind of mood, you know, because some good stuff here. Variety of price ranges, all the way down from 35 bucks to a few $100s. So there's some variety here, all fresh, all beast, all compliment getters in my experience. Again, nothing's guaranteed when it comes to compliments, but the likelihood's definitely raised when you're wearing stuff like this. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of these 10 and you give them a spray now, I'm extremely confident you'll thank me later, because they're all great. Have a good one, guys.